Mike Will, and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. We have made it to a Thursday, the 15th day of January for 2026. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic standing by. We've got all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Lots of things to discuss. The Hastings College men's and women's basketball teams, they were in action last night in Seward against the Concordia Bulldogs. The men picked up a stunning victory in their basketball game. The women dropped a decision to the 10th-ranked Bulldogs, so we'll be talking about that coming up. The Nebraska women's basketball team going to be on the floor tonight. They will play at 15th-ranked Michigan State. The Spartans have lost only one game so far this season, so Huskers with a tough challenge tonight. The Nebraska forward Reich Mast has been named a third-team mid-season All-American by the Sporting News. The 2026 College Football Hall of Fame class has been announced, and there's a Husker legend involved with the 2026 class. We'll tell you about that coming up. The Nebraska football team has picked up a surprise commitment from a high school quarterback out of Las Vegas. We'll be talking about that coming up. Got some high school basketball tonight, some interesting moves going on in the NFL. So all that and more here at the breakfast table this morning as we get you up and get you out the door for a Thursday as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
And a good morning. Yeah, no Husker men's hoops to hit on here first thing this morning, but plenty still of some from Husker news and notes. You mentioned the Husker legend. Let's just start off the show there. Congratulations, Ndamukong Suh, College Football Hall of Fame, and arguably the best to ever do it at defensive tackle, whether that be here at Nebraska or in all of college football. The one regret is there's no Heisman, and interestingly enough, the man who wins the Heisman also joins him in the Hall of Fame class. Is just one more little twist of the knife and some more salt, but should have won the Heisman, without a doubt. Was the best player in college football, was the best player in football, changed the game on a variety of different levels. So, long overdue. Ndamukong Suh, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, 2009 was his big year. He swept the Bednarik Award, the Lombardi, and the Outland Trophy. He was also voted the Associated Press National Player of the Year that year. And he was the first defensive lineman in 15 years to be a Heisman finalist. And last August, he was named to the all-time AP All-America first team. He recorded 12 sacks and had 21 tackles for loss during that year in 2009. Went on to play 13 seasons in the National Football League, but Ndamukong Suh is our newest member for a Husker in the College Football Hall of Fame. The induction ceremonies will take place coming up later on this year, December, in Las Vegas. But yeah, congratulations, Ndamukong Suh. That kind of tops the state scene here today. Lots of news and notes we want to get to. We got some time to get you on today, by the way. If you'd like to chime in with anything we're going to discuss today, Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, you know the number, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. Give us your thoughts, anything that we're going to discuss today. Leave us a message on the social media sites. We'll get to those as well. Let's talk some NFL coaching news. The latest on John Harbaugh, it looks like they are working to finalize an agreement to make John Harbaugh the next head coach for the New York Giants. Of course, he spent 18 years as a head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He went 180 and 113. He won a Super Bowl before he was fired last week after they missed the playoffs. The Giants have gone just 7-27 over the past two seasons. So John Harbaugh looks like, if everything comes out all right and they can hammer out some final details today, John Harbaugh is going to be the next head coach of the New York Giants.
Easy peasy. His offense is already in a very good spot. Needs to add maybe a few more pieces in free agency to the offensive line, but he's coming into a team and inherits Jackson Dart, a healthy Cam Scattaboo once he gets to full health. You get healthy Cam Scattaboo. You got Wan'Dale Robinson. Defensively, Malik Neighbors is still hanging around there. Get him healthy and things will be much better for you. Defensively, that's where the work I think has to be in the draft and in the offseason for the Giants is getting an explosive pass rusher, maybe adding a linebacker to the fray. But the Giants are a team that's ready for liftoff, man. And then you bring in a guy like Harbaugh. This could be a quick turnaround in New York. I had good A+ hire from the Giants.
Harbaugh ranks 12th in NFL history with 193 wins. Guided the Ravens to a Super Bowl title in 2012. He was named the NFL Coach of the Year in 2019. But the marriage is over there at Baltimore. They gave him the axe last week, and now Harbaugh moves on. He's not been unemployed too long. He won't have to stand in the soup line, so to speak. Harbaugh looks like he's going to sign on with the New York Giants, and that announcement could come as soon as today. So that's the latest from the NFL coaching news. We also see in the NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Adam Thielen has announced his retirement from the NFL.
Honestly, I thought that was like 6 years ago.
Well, he was retired. He came back. He retired and he came back, and now he's going to retire again after spending the last season at Pittsburgh. He's played for Minnesota, Carolina. He went back to Minnesota and played, and then he ended up at Pittsburgh for his career. He's got 704 catches, 8,497 yards, 64 touchdowns in 12 NFL seasons. But Adam Thielen has announced his retirement on the social media sites. He is stepping out of the NFL. Had him on my fantasy football roster a couple of times. He was all right. He was just a guy that was you could depend on to grab you a couple of points in fantasy football here and there. But he's been around. He's bounced around a couple of years, and now he's had enough.
Do you have him on your roster this season?
No, I think I had him on my roster last season.
I was going to say, no wonder you lost. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly thought that after the Minnesota tour was over and he went back to Minnesota, that he was just going to go back to Minnesota to retire as a Viking, but apparently got the itch to play a little bit more. Didn't really make an impact this season like he has in the past, so maybe it's official this time. He's come out of retirement twice, so third time's the charm. Dude, you're an NFL player. It's not like you're going to go in the soup line. Beaches and margaritas sound really good this time of year.
College basketball news from last night. Texas handed 10th-ranked Vanderbilt its first loss of the season.
Horns down.
80-64, horns up.
No.
Texas beating Vanderbilt last night 80-64. So Vandy is knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten. That leaves three teams now in NCAA Division I basketball that are still undefeated. Arizona, Miami of Ohio,
the Red Hawks,
and Nebraska.
Okay.
So three teams remain: Arizona, Nebraska, Miami of Ohio. No team has completed a perfect season and won the NCAA championship since Indiana pulled it off in 1976. Arizona, Nebraska, Miami of Ohio, the last three remaining teams. Nebraska will play at Northwestern on Saturday. I see the Chief is already calling in. We're going to get him on board.
That's right.
Here in just a minute or two. Going to be talking about what's on mind with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, yeah, Texas handed 10th-ranked Vanderbilt its first loss of the season, 80-64 last night. So Nebraska just one of three remaining teams that's got an unblemished mark so far this season.
I was looking for some parallels with 76, and I couldn't find it. I was trying to find, like, Nebraska winning a natty, but that was 70 and 71. Anyways, enough on Indiana and Texas, because I hate Texas, so we're just going to swiftly move from that conversation on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have Pittsburgh Steelers fanatic and chief of all Steeler Kingdom, Chief Mike Indorf, joining us on the line this morning. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you today?
Chief, we're doing good over here. We look forward to conversation here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kind of a sort of a topsy-turvy week. You have your playoff game with the Houston Texans. First of all, just kind of getting into the playoffs. I know that was maybe a little bit of a shocker for some. But Aaron Rodgers has a healthy season, exceeds expectations. You get into the playoffs, and now you're looking for a new head coach after that playoff loss. Tomlin stepping down. What are your thoughts on the current situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now?
Well, first, Mike, I'll give you props because at first when the Steelers signed Rodgers in the offseason, you know, I called in and I thought, no way they're going to make the playoffs, let alone have a winning record, and you said that they would. So I'll give you props on that one.
Yeah, kudos. Chief, I didn't have very many wins this year, but that was one of my glaring wins. I predicted nicely that the Pittsburgh Steelers would make the playoffs this year.
Yep. Yeah, if only the Blazing Five would have went better for you, like that pick did. But so, you know, I was surprised that Tomlin left, but I also wasn't. You know, throughout his coaching career with Pittsburgh, he had been blessed with a franchise quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, and then after Roethlisberger retired, they went through quite a few quarterbacks there with Mason Rudolph, Mitchell Trubisky, and then Kenny Pickett. So I think this is kind of his last hurrah, was to bring in Aaron Rodgers and see if he could work some magic at 42 years old. Honestly, he outperformed my expectations, and I think a lot of Steeler fan expectations. But after this year, you know, I think it's pretty apparent that the Steelers are just going to have to draft a quarterback and rebuild and kind of start new. And I think that might have been also had a factor in Tomlin's decision as well.
And that's what I was going to ask, Chief. As far as looking ahead, we mentioned it. Aaron Rodgers did exceed expectations, but you wonder on Father Time just how much time is left with that body and with that mindset that you have to bring into each and every NFL season. Is this the year that Pittsburgh needs to move up and get a quarterback here in the NFL draft? And right now, I guess from the Pittsburgh perspective, knowing where the teams lie, and the Raiders in all likelihood going after Mendoza, what quarterback are you looking at in the draft pool right now?
Yeah, Mendoza would be definitely number one. But yeah, I don't think the Raiders will give that pick up. And then I don't know.
Do you look at like a Diego? Because I see Diego Pavia as a guy that could fall in the NFL draft a little bit. Heisman hopeful over at Vanderbilt, but ended up kind of putting his foot in his mouth, and that could hurt the draft stock and status to the point where he'd fall in Pittsburgh. Would you be satisfied with the Diego Pavia?
Yes, Diego Pavia, most definitely from Vanderbilt. He had a very, very good year, and then you had to let him and Will Howard kind of duke it out and see who would win that quarterback race.
Yeah,
Important question.
We're
Go ahead,
talking
Mike.
with the Chief this morning. He's the Pittsburgh Steelers guru in the room here this morning. There's been a lot of news involving the Steelers the past couple of weeks. Before you worry about a quarterback, guys, you got to worry about a coach. Hell, you don't even have a head coach. Who would you like to see to lead this team here in the future?
So their last three coaching hires, Chuck Knoll and Bill Cowher and then Mike Tomlin, they were all three defensive coordinators, and none of the three had NFL head coaching experience. So I think that they're going to continue that trend. And my prediction is Chris Shula. He's currently defensive coordinator for the LA Rams, and he of course has the Shula last name, very, very famous, especially for the Miami Dolphin fans and Don Shula. But if they don't go with Chris Shula, then I think that they will probably go with Brian Flores, who used to coach for the Dolphins, and he's currently defensive coordinator for the Vikings. But I bet my prediction is they'll continue the trend of hiring a defensive coordinator with no head coaching experience, and hopefully he'll last like the previous three coaches have.
I like Shula a lot. I like Shula to Pittsburgh. That would be a good get. I think we've kind of seen what happens when you throw Flores into the fold and into the laundry. The results have been mediocre to disappointing at best, I think, for him. You'd be golden with a guy with a hire like Shula, man.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So that's who I would put my money on.
Although Brian Flores is the guy who a lot of the media sites right now are projecting to get that job. Of course, Flores, the head coach for the Dolphins in 2019 to 2021. So we'll see what happens. The Steelers definitely have a lot of question marks as they head into the offseason. The head coach, number one, and then the quarterback position, number two. Probably Aaron Rodgers. It's about time for him to go in that deep hole pretty soon, isn't it, Chief, and come out with some interesting thoughts? Yes,
yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers. It's time for him to go into his deep hole and then think about the Hall of Fame here in about 5 years. He had a great career, but I think at least for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's time for a new coach and a new quarterback, and hopefully they'll find the next franchise quarterback that'll lead them to more Super Bowls.
Pittsburgh Steeler fan Chief Endorf joining us on the show. One last question before we let you go, because we're not going to not talk Cards Cubs baseball, you and I, Chief. Alex Bregman, great get for the Chicago Cubs. What's the optimism heading into 2026 when pitchers and catchers report here in about a month?
Yes, Bregman was a huge get. I was starting to think that they weren't going to sign anybody, but then, just out of the blue, got an alert on my phone that the Cubs signed them for 5 years. With the Bregman signing, along with other moves that they made, my prediction is that they will. It's got to be a division title or bust this year. Got to get home field advantage, because that was the difference in that divisional series with the Cubs and Brewers. Brewers won the division; they had home field, and the home team won every game in that series. So, division or bust this year for the Cubs.
Well, the Cardinals will not be in your way, so please plow forward in the NL Central. There you go, Chief Endorf. Appreciate your time, sir. We will talk to you again here before the baseball season starts up, my man.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, always good to hear from the Chief chiming in. Big Steelers fan, so there's a lot on his mind. Big Steelers fan and a big Cubbies fan. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a lot on Chief's mind each and every day.
There's two gigantic fan bases that he is the chief of. So, yeah, crew chief Mike Endorf chiming in here on the show. A couple comments to get to during our conversation with the chief. Coach Baker, he's also a big Cubs fan, believes that Will Howard is on the Steelers. We mentioned that as we were kind of talking about the quarterback situation. He did slide in. By the way, Will Howard is still there. So he could essentially duke it out in a quarterback competition. Will Shaner, Miami of Ohio is not even ranked. Well, play somebody. That's my answer to that. So there you go.
Yeah, Miami of Ohio.
You got to play somebody.
3 undefeated teams left in NCAA Division I basketball. We mentioned the coaching vacancies in the NFL. Pittsburgh is one of them. We just kind of discussed that. So Brian Flores, Shula being mentioned for that job.
Yep.
Now it's in New York. It looks like a Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is going to move on to New York. So that leaves Arizona, Atlanta, Baltimore, Cleveland, Las Vegas, Miami, and Tennessee, all looking for head coaches. And as soon as John Harbaugh officially signs on with the Giants, I think the dominoes will start to fall.
I think they'll start to fall, but I also I hesitate to see any hires this week. You got to remember, Mike, there is still some high-profile coaches and coordinators that are in the playoffs right now.
The playoffs,
like Joe Brady for one, Bills' offensive coordinator, almost without even hesitation, 99.999% sure that he'll get a head coaching offer. And there's no doubt in my mind. Whether that be for Buffalo, if we stub our toe against the Broncos, it could be for Buffalo, and then Sean McDermott comes into the mix. So there's still coordinators and coaches that are in the playoffs. So you're going to have all these teams that want to interview these coordinators and after they get eliminated from the playoffs or run the distance. So it could be a slower process. The NFL is a little bit different than the college game, where the college game is dealing with the transfer portal and recruiting right now. You need a leader at the helm for the stability of the program and the recruiting, whereas in the NFL, you really don't need a coach until draft day to go in the war room with you and talk about his strategy and what he needs. So I'm not anticipating this to be that domino effect, like once one falls, then the rest of the coaches are going to line up and get in line. I don't think we'll see any big splash hires until after the playoffs wrap up.
Playoffs continuing this weekend in the National Football League. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Thursday, 7:23. If you'd like to chime in like the Chief did, 402-834-1330 is the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330. So we talked to NFL. We told you that Texas beat Vanderbilt in college basketball last night. Another interesting move here we want to get to before we get to our news break. Oregon quarterback Dante Moore. He has decided to return to school for the 2026 season.
Let's go.
He's giving up a chance to be one of the top picks in the 2026 NFL draft. He'll now be projected to be near the top of a loaded quarterback class for 2027. Wednesday was the deadline for the underclassmen not playing in the college football playoff championship game to declare for the NFL draft. So Dante Moore is coming back at Oregon. His decision comes after Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola announced that he was transferring to Oregon. And hours after the announcement yesterday, four-star Oregon quarterback signee Bryson Beaver told ESPN he's getting the hell out of Oregon. He's entering the transfer portal.
No.
So now it looks like it's going to be Dante Moore and Dylan Raiola as the quarterbacks there at Oregon. I think there's something fishy going on with that.
With what?
Why would Dylan Raiola go to Oregon
Money?
knowing he had to know that Dante Moore was going to stay
I don't think he did.
in school?
I don't think he did.
He thought he was going to go out there and Moore was going to move on, so he was going to be the quarterback of the Oregon Ducks and have a legitimate chance to win the national championship next year.
And he's already an internet meme for how many places he's gone. Why not add another location to the list? Decommit, it would be the greatest thing on the face of the earth. You would have gone to Georgia, to Ohio State, to Nebraska, to Oregon after playing 4 different high schools, and then you're going to transfer from Oregon.
Is that a possibility?
I don't know. He
Is
didn't
he
sign a
gonna go out there?
contract, did he?
Probably not. Is he going to decommit now from Oregon just because Dante Moore is staying?
I would love to say no.
The other quarterback they had, Bryson Beaver, he's entering the transfer portal.
I would love to say no, but his track record.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, going back to Oregon, Moore gave up a chance to make nearly $50 million in the guaranteed money. Last year's number 2 pick, Travis Hunter, made $46.65 million in guaranteed cash. That's expected to go up a little bit to this year, so he probably bypassed $50 million. Moore was in his first season as the full-time starter, led the Ducks to the semifinals, but he started only 20 games so far as a college quarterback. He's thrown for 3,565 yards, 30 touchdowns in 2025 for the Ducks. Completed 71.8% of his passes through 10 interceptions. So he's coming back for another year at Oregon. Yeah, I don't think we've heard the end of the story on Dylan Raiola going to Oregon yet.
I really hope we have, because I'm exhausted from just trying to keep up with his travels. He's now the highest paid backup quarterback in all of college football.
But they can't
end of the bench where he belongs.
They can't be paying him anywhere close to what we were paying him here for a backup quarterback's position now.
I don't know.
God, I don't know. I just think there's going to be more to that than him going to Oregon. He had to know. Yeah, he's coming off of an injury, and maybe he's going to rehab, and he could redshirt this season.
When even the Oregon media was like, holy crap, breaking news, bold letters, whoa, he's staying. The Oregon media was even caught off guard. So, I don't think he had the inside track. I really don't. I think he was going to think that he was going to start for one of the best championship-ready programs in college football and just waltz in and be the starter. And Moore said, hold my beer. We got more football to play.
Hold my clipboard.
They're both old enough at this point.
So, anyway, that was interesting news right after we got off of the air.
Clipboard.
They made that announcement yesterday. Actually, he got on ESPN Sports Center. Made the announcement yesterday that, hey, I'm staying. So that's some latest news and notes that we have around the country today involving the NFL and college football. We got some more things to discuss on the other side of the news break. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports at 7:29.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll head over to the state capitol, where Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen has appointed St. Paul's Fred Meyer to the state legislature to represent District 41, filling the seat left vacant by the resignation of Senator Dan McKean. Meyer previously served the same district after a 2023 appointment when then Senator Tom Breezy of Albion left the post after being appointed as treasurer. He says he does not plan to introduce any new legislation this session and will focus on budget issues. A special election in November will decide who serves the remainder of McKean's term. Meanwhile, Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen is calling for a criminal investigation after State Senator Michaela Cavanaugh removed some display pictures at the state capitol. The images were part of the 250th anniversary exhibit from PragerU, which is a conservative group. They were taken down near her office. Cavanaugh said she believed the display shouldn't be on the walls and later apologized for her actions. While no charges were initially filed by the Nebraska State Patrol reported no damage, Pillen has, however, asked the State Patrol to refer the case to the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office for possible investigation. Now, State Patrol, let's go one rank lower. Some state senators, meanwhile, actually debated some bills yesterday. Lawmakers advanced a proposal to allow lottery ticket sales through vending machines. Okay. A change backers say would increase convenience and sales. Opponents criticized gambling's social impact. Another bill would limit U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents from entering Nebraska schools without a judicial warrant, and a proposal was introduced to require new state senators, I like this, to take a civics test within 90 days of being sworn in and publish the results. Oh, what laws will they think of next? 7:31. We'll head back to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, the Nebraska women's basketball team will play at 15th ranked Michigan State tonight. Huskers are 14-3 on the season, 3-3 in the Big Ten after Sunday's 83-61 loss to UCLA. The Spartans are 16-1. They are 5-1 in the league after Sunday's 85-81 win over Oregon. Tip-off for the game tonight will be at 6 on BTN. Nebraska forward Mike Mass has been named a third-team midseason All-American by the Sporting News. The 6'10" senior has been instrumental in leading Nebraska's record-breaking 17-0 start. He is averaging 15.5 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.9 assists per game, as Nebraska remains one of 3 unbeaten teams in the country. Nebraska will play at Northwestern on Saturday. Tip-off for the game will be at 3 on BTN. Nebraska football legend Ndamukong Suh is one of 22 individuals who will make up the 2026 College Football Hall of Fame class. The 18 players and 4 coaches will be inducted during ceremonies in Las Vegas this December. Suh turned in one of the most dominant seasons by a defensive lineman in 2009, sweeping the Bednarik, Lombardi, and Outland trophies and being voted the Associated Press National Player of the Year. He was the first defensive lineman in 15 years to be a Heisman finalist. Last August, he was named to the all-time AP All-America first team. He recorded 12 sacks and 21 tackles for loss in 2009 and went on to play 13 seasons in the NFL. The Nebraska football team has received a late commitment from a 6'1", 175-pound quarterback from Las Vegas. Tanner Biddable will join the 2026 class. As a senior last season, Biddable threw for 2,245 yards and 32 touchdowns. He also rushed for 1,132 yards and 12 scores. Hastings College men's basketball team went on a 22-0 second-half run to beat Concordia 75-57 last night in Seward. Concordia came into the game averaging 83 points per game, and the Broncos held them to a season-low 57 points. The Bulldogs hit only 35% of their field goals in the game, including 4 of 29 from three-point range. Hastings connected on 50% of their shots, including 11 of 22 from long range. Micah Heinrichs hit 6 three-pointers and finished with 21 points. Maverick Binder had 18 points. Deron Hall chipped in with 16. Hastings is now 5-14 in the season, 4-7 in the conference. They'll play at Northwestern on Saturday. Hastings College women's basketball team lost to Concordia 83-77. Mariah Avila led the Broncos with 18 points and 4 rebounds. Bailey Kissinger had 17 points and 5 rebounds. And McKenna Yates had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Hastings is now 12-6. They're 8-4 in the conference. They'll also play at Northwestern on Saturday. High school basketball action tonight. Adams Central plays at Northwest. Girls game will be at 5:30. The boys to follow at 7:15. We'll have the action tonight on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 5:15 this afternoon. Other action, Minden will play at St. Cecilia beginning at 6. That's a check in your sports headlines coming up on 7:36 on Extreme Sports.
Up and down weather is back to finish off the work week and into the weekend. Hey everybody, Tim Jones here. On Wednesday, it'll be chilly, breezy, and just an outside chance for a little bit of rain or snow. Today, a high of 36 degrees. We'll have north winds 15 to 20, gusting up to 30 miles per hour at times. We'll eventually get to mostly sunny skies. 23, partly cloudy overnight tonight. Mid-50s return on Thursday, and then on Friday, windy and a high of 36.
Right now in Hastings, we've got south winds at 9 miles per hour, partly cloudy, 23 in Hastings at Extremes.
Hi guys, this is Justin Consrick with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give me a call at 308-991-5429.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton is Business.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you. All
right, Mike Will, Tyson and Bronick with you as Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Thursday. Again, thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us today. Thanks for joining us. Had Hastings College basketball last night. The Hastings College men victors over Concordia last night. Broncos won on a 22-0 run in the second half. Kept Concordia scoreless for over 7 minutes of the second half, and they beat the Dogs 75-57. That's still the 11th win at home for an opponent on the Concordia's floor in 96 games.
Wow.
Since the 2019-2020 season. Concordia's been very tough to beat on the road. They were 86-10 on their home floor since the 2019, and the Broncos were able to shut them down last night in the men's game, and in the women's game, matchup of two of the best teams in the GPAC. Hastings just couldn't make some shots at the end of the ball game, and Concordia went on to beat the Broncos last night in women's play, 83-77. So the Broncos will head for Orange City, Iowa on this Saturday. Normal game times at 2 and at 3:45. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports beginning at 1:45.
Heading to Orange City. Means you're going to be going. You're going right through your favorite establishment.
Yeah, chances are I could make a stop there.
It's a good indication.
I take off early, I can make 2 stops. Stop in there for breakfast. And then stop back on my way back through.
That's right.
High school basketball tonight. We're going to be in Grand Island. Adams Central playing at Northwest tonight.
All right.
The girls' game will be at 5:30. The boys at 7:15 on the air with the pregame at 5:15 this afternoon. We'll see if the Adams Central boys can continue their winning ways against the Northwest tonight.
Going to Rosencrantz
Gym.
Heading up to the weight deck and.
Oh no, I got the VIP location.
You get VIP.
Yeah.
Well done. Speaking of high school hoops, normally we wouldn't even talk about high school hoops in other states, but I saw this come across my feed. It's an incredible accomplishment that we tip our caps to. Adrian Stubbs. Remember the name, because I guess he's going to be the next big phenom. He's a guard who plays at Phoenix Maryville, and he became the first player in high school basketball history to score 100 points in a game, and he did it in the first 3 quarters.
Are you kidding me?
As Maryville defeated Yuma 109-25.
And this guy had 100 points?
This guy scored 100 points in the effort. 70 points in the first half. He added 30 in the third quarter. He finishes with a even 100.
And his team ran up 109 points, and he had 100 of them?
Yep, 109-25.
That's teamwork.
He subbed out, and the rest of the team got 9 points.
Nothing like teamwork.
Adrian Stubbs.
You can't spell team with an I.
You don't need a team if you score 100 points by yourself.
What was the name?
You could have played 1-on-5. Adrian Stubbs.
So keep that in your worthless piece of information to get you through the day today.
I'm just saying, when he becomes the best card in college basketball, you heard it here first.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's a high school kid.
So, all right.
I didn't deep dive Adrian Stubbs, but I did see that note come across my feed. Tammy says good morning, so good morning to Tammy. And then I like this from the Chief. Dylan Royola has changed colleges more times in 2 years than the Pittsburgh Steelers have changed head coaches in 50.
Yeah, when we were talking about head coaches, Chief brought up some interesting names.
Right?
Yeah, the Steelers have not had a lot of head coaches. Nope. I think they're going to be looking for their fourth head coach in like a jillion years.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin stepping down, so now the Steelers will be looking for a new head coach.
I was young enough to remember when Bill Cowher took the job.
Yeah.
But they've only really had 2 coaches in my lifetime, for the most part.
Bill Cowher,
and Mike Tomlin.
And yeah, Chuck Noll.
Yep,
was before your time.
I mean, I was crawling at that point. So
yeah, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Now they're looking for their fourth head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Incredible.
Some other news and notes I want to get to here.
Yeah.
Changes to the transfer window in several sports were approved by the NCAA Division I Cabinet on Wednesday, most notably shortening and moving back those in men's and women's basketball to the day after the national championship game. Kudos on that. They're finally figuring this damn thing out. The transfer windows in basketball will now open for a 15-day period the day after each sports championship game. The changes are effective immediately, meaning this spring the basketball windows will open from April 7th to the 21st for the men and April 6th to the 20th for the women. Previously, the transfer portal window was open for 30 days and began after the second round of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments. So you're in the national tournament, you win your second round game, and then half of your team decides to enter the transfer portal.
Right.
God, sometimes what are these guys running around in suits in these glass offices? What are they even thinking? Why would you have the transfer window open right in the midst of the NCAA basketball tournament?
They're not thinking, and that's the point. They were going on more like, I think, academic transfer window and less on, hey, let's make this practical.
It happened with football. They had their transfer window open right during the postseason. They've changed that now.
But we've talked about this, Mike. Like, this is all due to them just opening up the box without making sure that they had all their T's crossed and I's dotted. When this whole portal NIL deal started, they just literally ripped it open. And they're like, okay, let's find out what problems we're going to have and actively work through them. And they found a lot, from player contracts to the portal window ruining the integrity of the tournament and the playoffs, to now the discussion on salary caps. Again, when they opened up the portal in the NIL deal, they had no idea what they were doing. And it's proving, with every single loophole that they've had to close since, they're constantly in scramble mode. So, I credit a lot of the suit's decisions to the fact that they're literally just trying to eliminate the issues and the demons that came out of opening up this whole new world of college athletics.
It's like they're just putting out fires.
Correct.
They're throwing gas on all these fires, and then they need to get together and say, oh, boy, we got to put this fire out, This is not working. No, you think through the problems first, and then you put the program in order. Having a transfer portal window open during the NCAA basketball tournament is asinine.
Yeah, it is. And they're fixing it.
Yeah, they're fixing it now.
So at least give them partial credit.
Knowing that they effed up?
Oh, yeah. But it wasn't just on the portal. I mean, it was on a wide variety of issues, but also to know that get your ducks in a row when you're talking about a legislative body of the NCAA's presidential cabinet was going to be a lot slower moving process than the person that just said, you know what, screw this. Let's just open it up and see what we got. We're here. It's the reality. We're fixing fires as close as possible without as little disruption to these tournaments. Apparently the guard from Arizona is, I already forgot his name, Stubbs, 18, must be a senior. So
he could be, where's he headed for college?
I bet he's got a few offers this morning.
Yeah, but he scored 100 points. Yeah, there's probably a number of teams looking at him. Could be the next LeBron James. 100 points.
Could be. Wilt Chamberlain.
Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. I think we'll get some time if you'd like to chime in, join in the conversation with us today. Love to chat with you like we did with Chief in the first half hour. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. The Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. What the hell is wrong with people?
Boy.
Sheriff's deputies are investigating an alleged break-in and theft last week at the North Carolina home of retired NASCAR driver Greg Biffle. One of 7 people who died in that plane crash last month. The alleged burglary and forcible entry into Biffle's home in Mooresville, North Carolina, was reported last Thursday, according to an incident report from the sheriff's office. The sheriff down there, Darren Campbell, said yesterday that investigators believe that someone entered a safe in the home, took $30,000 in cash and a backpack, also some guns and some memorabilia is also reported as missing. Campbell said no arrests have been made and that no one else was in the home at the time of the alleged crimes. The incident report said the home was last known secure the afternoon of January the 7th. So that just adds more tragedy to a tragic story already. Greg Biffle dies in a plane crash. His entire family dies in a plane crash. And someone breaks into his house, steals $30,000, some guns, and some racing memorabilia.
First class ticket to HE double hockey sticks. Might not get caught by the police, but you're going straight to hell.
Well, somebody broke into a safe. Number one, they had to know that there was $30,000 in the safe. Number two, how'd you get into the safe? This sounds like
the safe was.
Yeah, this had to be an inside job.
Family.
So this had to be an inside job.
Disgruntled family. Possible worker for Biffle. Who knows, but people suck.
Yeah, $30,000 in cash missing. Some guns, racing memorabilia, all reported missing from a break-in at Greg Biffle's house down in North Carolina. So,
Schleicher chiming in on the transfer portal. In football, they won't. And see, this is what I was talking about, and I think it's why the window was where it was. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense from the football perspective, but it does make a lot of sense when you're talking about the academic side. So, Schleicher's chiming in football, they won't be able to transfer till after the championship game. And it means they won't be able to enroll in the new college until the start of the semester, which does have an effect on eligibility and classes and time with teammates and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's the transfer portal is clouded at best. Clouded at best. Anyway, 7:53, waking up with Mike and Tyson this morning. Huddle up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Well, into the state capitol, where Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen has made a decision on the District 41 seat by appointing St. Paul's Fred Meyer to the state legislature. This after the seat was left vacant from the resignation of Senator Dan McKean. Meyer previously served the same district after a 2023 appointment when Senator Tom Breezy left the post after being appointed as treasurer. He says he does not plan to introduce new legislation this session and will be primarily focused on budget issues. A special election is coming up in November for the voters of District 41 to see who will serve the remainder of McKean's term. Meanwhile, Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen is calling for a criminal investigation after State Senator Michaela Cavanaugh removed several display pictures from the state capitol. The images were part of the U.S. 250th anniversary exhibit from PragerU, which is a conservative think tank. They were taken down near her office. Kavanaugh says she believed the displays shouldn't be on the walls and later apologized for her actions. No charges were initially filed, and the Nebraska State Patrol reported no damage. Pillen, however, has asked the State Patrol to refer the case to the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office for possible investigation. Meanwhile, action on the floor was taken yesterday as state senators introduced several bills. Taking a look at just a few of the highlights, lawmakers advancing a proposal to allow lottery ticket sales through vending machines, a change that supporters say would increase convenience and sales. Another bill would limit U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents from entering Nebraska schools without a judicial warrant, and a proposal that was also introduced to require new state senators to take a civics test within 90 days of being sworn in and publish the results. It's coming up on 7:56. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
So if you don't pass the civics test,
right,
you can't get the job, or
my reading of the law with my very brief and limited political science and legal degrees, as I was reading it, they just publish the results. So if you fail, it just shows you with like a 42 on your civics test. It's more of like a, hey, here's who you actually voted for.
But it's too late.
Yeah, but just know that you voted for a guy with a 20 on his civics test.
All right. The Nebraska women's basketball team will play at 15th-ranked Michigan State tonight. Tip-off will be at 6 on BTN. Nebraska forward Mike Mass has been named a third-team midseason All-American by the Sporting News. He's been instrumental in leading the Huskers' record-breaking 17-0 start. He's averaging 15.5 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.9 assists per game. Huskers will play at Northwestern on Saturday. Tip-off will be at 3 on BTN. Nebraska legend Dominican Sue is one of 22 individuals who will make up the 2026 College Football Hall of Fame class. The 18 players and 4 coaches will be inducted during ceremonies in Las Vegas coming up this December. The Nebraska football team has received a late commitment from a 6'1", 175-pound quarterback from Las Vegas. Tanner Venable will join the 2026 class. As a senior last year, he threw for 2,245 yards with 32 touchdowns. He also rushed for 1,132 yards and 12 scores. Hastings College men's basketball team went on a 22-0 second-half run to beat Concordia 75-57 last night in Seward. Concordia came into the game averaging 83 points per game, and the Broncos held them to a season-low 57 points. Micah Heinrichs hit 6 3-pointers. He finished with 21 points to lead the Broncos. Hastings is now 5-14. They're 4-7 in the conference. They'll play at Northwestern on Saturday. Hastings College women, they lost at Concordia 83-77. Mariah Vila led the Broncos with 18 points and 4 rebounds. Hastings is now 12-6. They're 8-4 in the conference. They'll also play at Northwestern on Saturday. High school basketball tonight. Adams Central will be at Northwest. Girls game at 5:30. The boys to follow at 7:15. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at 5:15. Other action tonight, Minden will play at St. Cecilia, beginning at 6. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:58 on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. A high wind watch begins at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and continues until 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. Overcast skies today with a high of 54. Westerly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Chance for scattered rain showers. Lows dip down to about 28. Tomorrow, 36. Upper teens Saturday. Much warmer on Sunday with highs in the mid-40s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 24 degrees.
Hey, this is Mick from Miletta Vista Winery in St. Paul. Just a reminder, winter hours will be Saturdays, 11:30 to 9, January through February. That's just one day a week. But come in for lunch. Homemade soup specials on Saturdays. Stick around for the evening meals that start at 5. And while you're at it, stock up on your favorite wines. Workhorse, Elephant Ear, Cuban Tiger, and more are available at Miletta Vista and wherever great Nebraska wines are sold. Miletta Vista Winery, good wine, good food, no snow boots required, but we won't judge.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
All right, just huddle up on Extreme Sports for this Thursday. We'll have high school basketball coming up later on today. Adams Central playing at Northwest. Coverage begins at 5:15 this afternoon here on Extreme Sports. On the show tomorrow, it's Friday. That means
we got 5 games.
Blazing 5.
We only have 5 to pick from.
That's where I do my best work.
This is your time to shine, baby.
Yeah, I was 4-1 last week. The schedule has been condensed now. I don't have to sit there and look at 125 games every week. My mind was going in all kinds of directions during the season.
You just got overwhelmed.
I got overwhelmed by my workload.
There was too many games.
Yeah, I was overwhelmed by my workload. But yeah, the last 2 weeks I've had winning records.
And without the aid of the Conference USA, the MAC, and the Sun Belt, my record is plummeted.
Yeah, you're going down to 2.
My money making conferences are done and dusted. So
you're down to tubes.
Yeah, we haven't done shit.
I think I've had 2 winning weeks and you've had 2 losing weeks.
Yeah, back to back. It's kind of how it was last year, except for my lead was a lot less to work with last year. This time I'm still in a very comfortable spot.
So anyway, we'll have our Blazing 5 picks this weekend. We've
Interesting spreads, by the way.
I haven't even looked at them yet.
Buffalo's an underdog to Denver.
They should be.
That's the interesting.
What's the line on that?
1.5. It's basically a pick 'em.
Okay.
Seattle is a 7-point favorite against San Francisco.
I like that. San Francisco.
The news of George Kittle.
Yeah, I still like San Francisco in that.
Really?
Game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patriots are a 3-point favorite against the Texans. The Rams are a 3.5-point favorite on the road against Chicago. Not a lot of love for the second-seeded Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
And then Monday's line, 8.5, Indiana favorite.
Okay.
And I expect those lines to stay pretty steady. I don't think we'll see a lot of fluctuation in movement.
All right, I might as well just start putting my picks in today. I'm not going to study anymore. Well, I start to look for information.
You overanalyze.
To skew my decision.
Go with the gut.
I should just go with the gut. In fact, I might sit down as soon as the show's over and bang him in and get him locked in. I just heard the...
You heard all you need to hear.
I think so. So that's coming up tomorrow at 7:30. Yeah, this might be one of the final weeks that we have the Blazing 5.
This will be the final week of actually picking 5 games. Yeah.
We can still call it the Blazing 5. But
we can still put a parlay ticket together, but it will be a combination of some things.
So we'll make it work.
Yep. Always do.
Once we get to the Super Bowl.
Have no fear. There are plenty of prop bets to throw in.
We'll throw in the prop bets for that. Then you know what happens on Friday. Horse racing season starts.
Oh.
Horse racing
Don't
season.
get me started, big boy.
Might be starting to talk about the ponies here pretty soon.
I'm looking forward to this season.
God. All right, so that's what's coming up. Again, we'll have a high school high school basketball beginning at 5:15 this afternoon, Northwest and Adams Central. If you'd like to listen to the show again, you can go to our podcast section, download the podcast of the show today.
It's got a new like.
At your convenience today.
We got a new like and subscriber on YouTube.
We like that.
That was fun.
Welcome to the show. What's taking you so damn long to get here?
I've only been here for 2 years. Come on.
Just stumbling across the show. been here for 2 years, almost.
I still hear that from a lot of people that have stumbled upon it for the very first time and have stuck around. So we're slowly making traction.
The fact that they're still around is the important factor.
Oh, that's huge.
Not that they found us.
We have 3 listeners and viewers. Hell, I think 4 or 5 that from day one were on the show and tuned into the show and haven't left. And if you stayed through the first episode of the show and didn't leave, kudos to you.
Yeah, you win an award. Anyway, listen to the show, download the podcast, and listen to the show again at your convenience today. If not, make plans to be here tomorrow morning at 7 here on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on X